So I think, like you said, Zack started his IG, what was it, like September, October last year?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when these bids started being discussed. It hit a crescendo in December, and Zack just kept posting, like no matter what's happened, knowing that, again, I believe Paramount and his boy, the Saudis, was like, we're going to do whatever it takes to win this. And the engagement that you're getting is showing how hot your DC still is. BVS is 10 years old, y'all.
Right.
That's the last time Zack did a DC theatrical film, and we're still talking about it. What other film from 2016 are we still talking about? I don't know. I'm just rhetorical. I don't know.
It is. It's a rhetorical question.
That's how hot Zack Snyder and DC is still hot because of that. And I'm 100% with the sides. I'm ready for this to happen because I believe this is the best way that it can happen.
100%
for Zack. Like, that's what I'm saying. This for Zack.
For Zack, yeah. For Zack, for you, if you're a DC fan, if you like his stuff, for you, this is the move. But look, I'm obviously going down his page, so you can see how much he's been going hard with this stuff. With his DC. Look at that. This is like, he's been going hard, so there's just no way. There's no way he didn't know. He knew. His buddy told him, like, hey, putting money on this, we're going all in. We're going all in. All bets are off. And he said, all right, bet. I'm going crazy on IG.
Zach's like, okay, hold this.
Right, hold this real quick. Look at that.
The amounts of Henry Cavill, that's what's really, because you already know Batman was going to pop. Batfleck is always going to pop.
He's always going to pop. But this right here.
You keep putting Henry Cavill Superman, that speaks to something. He just did one this past week. That's his boy, Turkey Al-Sheik, right there in the middle there. It's like you say, like, yo.
hey, low key. Maybe I'm crazy for saying this. Tell me this guy does not look like Buddy he used to be part of, or not part of. He technically, what assumes still is. Peely, help me out here because I can't remember his name. Was it Ahmad?
Oh, I talking about the Snyder fan, Hamad.
Yeah, tell me that doesn't look like Ahmad.
That
man. Like
look
they're
like
related.
Ahmad. That dude actually looked just like him, man.
I swear, I think that was Ahmad the whole time. I think Ahmad was Turkey Al-Sheik the whole time.
Hey, shout out to Ahmad. He was one of the early Snyder fans, OGs that showed me love, and like I said, that built the foundation of what my platform did. So yeah, that looks straight up like him. That showed. That's crazy. That's wild. But I mean, because like I said, with the fandom, Zack knows what he's doing, and this is what you got. The antis, they're getting so nervous when Zack, like post stuff, and we're talking about it on social media. They don't realize in 2018, 2019, we just had some Vero posts. And we were just like, I think this means something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And Zack keeps feeding us. And Zack even admitted, he said, no, like the fandom, y'all kept me going. He's like, y'all kept pumping it. So I'm going to get you another picture. You know what I'm saying? So if Zack has admitted this and we're years later, okay, he did that Dark Side picture. What was that, 2018, 2019? And then we had that trending event where Ben Affleck tweeted, release a Snyder Cut, Gal Gadot, and we didn't know he was negotiating with AT&T behind the scenes to release a Snyder Cut, right?
Right.
And so we didn't know until after the fact. And all of a sudden, he announces it May of 2020, right? And then in 2021, he did that Crisis Turkey. People remember that Thanksgiving turkey, right? Yep. And we got the Final Crisis in the background. Okay, what's Zack up to, right? What's he up to with that? And what people don't realize, I realized my link in the chain in this is that's when I started getting my information that Cavill was coming back, Ben was coming back. It was after the Crisis Turkey. So
that's right. And
it's been confirmed that DeLuca and Abdi of Warner Brothers was going to do one last ride of the Snyderverse if they kept the Black Adam thing going, and we understand what fell apart with that.
Yeah.
But that's when I started getting my information. So I'm like, yo, like Zack was teasing something, then information comes out. So now, right? He's on Instagram now, posting something like every week.
Going crazy.
Something has to be happening behind us. As a Snyder fan,
yep.
If you've been around for at least a release, you got to be probably from the release, the Snyder Cut days. You know something's happening right now. It's just a matter of what's going to happen. When is Zack going to reveal what's happening behind the scenes? And I believe the Saudis are connected. I do.
100%. I mean, look, the reality is it's not. And it's think about this. How about even like the fact that you got like Joe Manganiello posting too, right? Lately, that last post he did, or with the Deathstroke thing, right? Like that tells you something. Who else was one of the other? Was it Gal or
Gal Gadot posted some stuff too? Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
she tagged Zack, or Zack tagged her, and she got active on Instagram. Again, Zack keeps posting Henry Cavill Superman like that. That's because if you would think in this interview that just came out earlier today with Zack, as he's always said, my stuff is separate from whatever DC's doing right now. Right. And this is what I tried to tell people. I think this would make the Cell movie mad at me, but I was like, James Gunn Superman could come out, it could do $1 billion, and Zack will still do DC again. That was my message to people. I was like, yeah, you could pray for the downfall. I mean, it's fun to make fun of James Gunn. I get it.
Right. Right.
But we don't need,
which I will. I will.
We actually don't need him to fail for Zack to do more. That was my point. That was my point, right?
Yeah.
And now James Gunn come out, it did mid, right? It's mid numbers. Netflix told everyone, hey, they cut it short because it didn't do. That's probably why Netflix didn't get Warner Bros. He snitched on Superman. But my point was that Zack can do his DC no matter the circumstances, and he even just said it today on that interview. Hey, James Gunn could do his thing. My DC is so different, and if you've seen Superman, you know it is.
That's right.
That's right. So
that also did happen. That's true.
That's why Man of Steel did better. Man of Steel is still the best solo Superman theatrical performance ever.
100%.
And it may remain. You may never get another Superman film that makes as much as that, the way the box office is now.
Right. No, for sure. And look, for anybody who thinks we're crazy for like still talking about this and holding on to hope, I just got one thing to show you. I just got one thing to show you. So I'm gonna use your page for this because I couldn't find it anywhere else.
The antis, man.
Yeah.
They hurting today.
There were numerous times, dark times, when I would say there is no chance that there will ever be my version of Justice League will never exist. And it can't. Cost, politics, everything stood against it. And yet it exists. And I think the fans should never forget that they did that. We raised a ton of money for suicide prevention, and they really did a lot of good. And I think that they catch a lot of flack for being toxic or whatever, but they literally saved human lives. So you can go fuck yourself if that's what if you were in
the GOAT director ever.
Come on.
Ever of all time. Does your favorite director say that? Does your favorite director say, yo, you got a problem? And that's why they mad. That's Zack Snyder right now. He's at a phase. He's unbothered. Like that's 100%. That's a state of contentment. He's like, you know what? Like the energy's out there. I could just throw out this engagement. I got the right connections right now. I'm unbothered. Y'all can hate all y'all want. If it's Saudi boys, they get in there and say we want Justice League 2 in theaters, ain't nothing you could do about it. The antis, y'all can't do nothing about it, bro. Right. He potentially has one of his best friends in the industry, a minority stake owner in Warner Brothers, bro. It's over, bro. You serious? But y'all want Netflix.
Y'all want Netflix. Come on,
y'all want Netflix, bro. Go.
Y'all just gonna pretend like there ain't that Arab money. That Arab money.
Bro, if people are paying attention to just business, the global, it's global business now. Because I know some of my viewers, and they may come across this, so I want to make sure I ain't being too wild. But it's like, but I know there's some concerns about like, foreign owners of American property. I actually understand. I get that. But just realize it's a minority share. They can't just upheaval the entire establishment.
Right.
They have minority stake. They sign certain terms. So, and again, I get it because there's a lot of America First people. Like I said, I'm not knocking any of that. A lot of people ride with their nation, so there's no problem with that. But this isn't that. This is global business, and people should get used to that. We should already be used to it on the internet here. When we was all locked down, we were streaming. People from UK, you was watching their stuff all through the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't be worried about the foreign money.
Right.
It's actually a newer norm than you think.
That's right.
Globally.
No, 100%. I mean, again, even if, like, I would say this, even if you are on that whole America First thing, whatever type thing, and like that concern of, you have to understand that when it comes to, it isn't like America's all there is. We live, we share the world with other nations, other bodies, other corporations, you know what I'm saying? All over the world, right? Like, so you're too naive if you think that this wasn't bound to happen or that it couldn't happen at a certain, like, it's already happened. That's the other thing.
With China.
Oh, wow. I didn't even see that he posted that. Crazy. I was just going there. I was just going there. But, exactly, that was my point. Like, China don't have big money in Hollywood already. So like this weird idea that you're afraid of the Saudi minor stakeholder thing, like you're fooling yourself. China already has big money in Hollywood and have a lot to do with what happens in Hollywood.
China determines CEO jobs now because if they don't show up for your film, you're gonna get fired no matter what country you're from, right? So Sujihara and all them back in the day, they weren't popping enough in China. They got fired. Toby Emmerich fired.
It might get gunned. It might get gunned.
Gunned because they already got his first film.
Gunned.
This next film, you coming here with Paramount now. I mean, there's rumors out there. I'm still trying to get to the bottom of this, but saying that Paramount will come in and just fire a gun. Like they're gonna just slaughter him immediately. And I'm like, I don't know, but gun, you better get into China this next film. Your Man of Tomorrow. I'm gonna give you Supergirl's not gonna do good. I talk about a lot of that on my platform, but Man of Tomorrow 2027. If Gunn don't get into China, I think it's over. I think it's over.
I'll be honest. I have my reservations about Supergirl now.
It's not gonna do numbers. No, it's not.
Yeah, I initially thought it was gonna do really well, but the way it's been marketing and the way they marketed it and kind of just seeing the overall buzz and trajectory of where he has DC at the moment. It's I don't think it's gonna.
That was a film. If you remember last year, I was excited about Supergirl. I was like, oh, that's gonna be the one because James Gunn wasn't directing it and he wasn't writing it, right? And so I was like, and they have a pretty good star, Amelia Alcock from Game of Thrones. So I was like, okay, this may be decent, right? Momoa, Lobo. Yep. You probably can make some money. Then that first trailer came out, man. I was like, because if people saw my channel before that, like I was hyping up Supergirl through Superman. I was like, I don't know about Superman. Supergirl will be the one.
Yeah.
And I was like, that trailer didn't do it for me, man. I was like, this James Gunn notes the crypto peas on the newspaper of Superman. Like, what?
Yep.
Come on, man. Like, we don't need that.
We don't need that. We don't need that. You did enough of that in the Superman movie. You did enough damage to Superman.
Let the director make the movie and the reason why I was so high on Supergirl because I heard about it while they were filming it. Yeah. And the director wanted to make an anti-hero film. Right. So I was getting like Black Adam vibes from what they were describing to me. I was like, that's why I was like, oh, Supergirl, I'm hearing
which works more with her than it does Black Adam.
It can. Yeah. But that trailer is like, nah, she looked like a Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm just like, okay, come on, man. Let them make the movie they want to make, man.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
But hey, Paramount's coming now, so
Paramount's coming. And look, here's the thing. I said this with CeeLo last time we discussed this, and I'm like, look, man, and this was still when it was like the Netflix talk too. But I was like, look, I don't care if Gunn stays. They can do Gunn stuff. They just got to bring Zack back. Though I prefer the Zack or the Gunn stuff to stop, because I personally I'm not a fan of anything he's done so far yet. Though I prefer for it to just end and they come in and just give him the boot. I prefer that, but you know, I know that there's people that did like it, so whatever. Like, if they keep him on board and they have something that they can appreciate, like, I guess, like, kudos to them, and kudos to Gunn.
Well, he has to make money. I'm just saying this.
No, right, but they're right. Like all that aside, he has to be. He has these next two, Supergirl and Man of Tomorrow, more importantly, probably have to really do it. So are they already shooting Man of Tomorrow?
They're gonna start in a couple months.
Is this before Supergirl comes out or after?
It would be probably right before. It'll be before Supergirl comes out.
Okay, because I'm gonna say if it's after Supergirl comes out, bro, and Supergirl doesn't do well, I don't think they're shooting Man of Tomorrow, bro.
Man, like I said, the pressure's on. Like, you know, and this is another thing too for these Netflix people. You know, James Gunn was safer with Netflix because they don't have theatrical movie people.
That's right.
With Netflix. Right. So I thought like Gunn may have a better chance. With Paramount, I know there's conflicting stories coming out. Like, oh, they say they're going to keep everyone. But Paramount, again, has been recruiting DC creators already before they even got this new bid in.
Right.
And then there's other rumors saying, oh, Gunn's going to be out. I'm not sure how sure that is. But the point is, Paramount's going to have their own ideas. And that's what happens with mergers. So,
right. No, that's right. That's right.
You know, if you got these Netflix people that saying, oh, they're so anti-Gunn, Gunn's best chance was with Netflix.
100%. 100%. 100%. That was clear to me. And that's why, again, that wasn't, if I'm be honest, that was another reason to why I preferred Paramount. If I'll be honest, because I was like, there's, again, it wasn't just about the Zack angle for me. Like, it was a more for sure the Zack angle, but it was also knowing that they will not hesitate to cut this guy out. You know what I'm saying, and push him out if they have to. You know, because
and on the same note, because again, you know, I have mixed viewerships. Gun fans, they watch my content. They sometimes they talk a little greasy about Zack. I'm like, y'all better chill. Don't come over here chilling about Zack. You know, but I respect what Gunn's trying to do. But the point again, Gunn has to perform. Yeah. That's what's going to determine. Because if he comes out and he goes crazy with Man of Tomorrow, again, a lot of people feel like he's not, but let's say he gets that China audience or whatever, then Paramount, because of business, they're like, okay, Gunn, do it again, do it again. Let's see what happens, when you do it again. So I think Gunn is actually going to have a fair chance because he needs to perform to stay on. So yeah.
Right. No, that makes sense. Again, we'll see what happens. I mean, still so much time till that moment comes, but again, I don't care if he stays or goes. My main concern is you got to bring Zack Snyder back. The reality is just nothing up to this point compares to what Zack Snyder brought on screen with his version of DC or his story of DC. Nothing, and not even. I say that on a artistic level, nothing compares visually to the spectacle and the epicness of what he brings onto the screen. Nothing compares philosophically, ideologically, through even just the dialogue and the story. And nothing even compares money-wise. Nothing has been as successful as Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, throw in Wonder Woman, throw in David Ayer's Suicide Squad, throw in Aquaman, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, the streaming of ZSJL,
and then the streaming of Zack Snyder's
Yeah.
Justice League, nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nothing compares to that yet. From DC's standpoint, you know, like from what DC dropped.
For Guns fans out there, again, I think I've been one of the most fairest people, first off, on this. Being a Snyder fan, knowing the epicness, but realizing I've been through different, you know, Tim Burton Batman, you know, Nolan, Schumacher, you know, so I know different people coming and, you know, it's different versions of these characters. So I get that. Yeah. That's why I gave Gunn a chance. Now, again, it's a mid performance to me. So that's the point I guess I'm making. It's that just you know, it's about the performance and just, you know, if people Gunn needs his BVS. That's my point I was trying to make. He needs that, because when Zack came out with Man of Steel, you know, the wonderful Krypton opening sequence and the fight in Smallville and everything that was in Man of Steel, it redefined Superman for our generation. And, you know, people was probably divisive, some critics, whatever. It made money. In Hollywood, that's all that matters. You make the money, they're going, even if it's a trash film like some of those Transformers films, you're making $1 billion, we're going to make another one until it stops making money. With Transformers First Night, that bombed. Then they was like, okay, Michael Bay, okay, hold on. You know, you can't keep doing this, bro. You only made like 300 million, get out of here, you know. So with Gunn, he has his you know, Superman, not quite
Man
of Steel. That second film, he needs his BVS.
Well, the sadder part is that this film was attempting to be more like BVS. You know what I'm saying? His Superman movie was attempting to be more like BVS. So I just don't know what else you can do after that. You know what I mean? Like you tried it and
well, only because he's doing this Lex versus Superman and all these things. And so it's like Gunn, and this is what I said recently. We know the type of film, because I try to give it a chance, but we know the type of film that Gunn's going to give us.
Yeah.
We know Gunn's formula by now. We've seen several DC projects now of James Gunn.
Right.
We know what we're getting with Man of Tomorrow. So I think it's going to be over after that. I really do believe that. I really do believe Gunn's going to make that movie, and it's going to be time to kind of phase or course correct. What else can Gunn do? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what else he can pull out of the bag.
You don't think by chance that, and again, I don't know for certain, but let's just say Supergirl bombs. Like, it actually bombs. Let's just say it's not that it just underperforms the expectations, but it actually bombs. You actually think that they're going to still roll forward with Man of Tomorrow?
So, and I'll just go off, you know, what I hear with this is that with Supergirl, they are expecting like a Black Adam performance. So you're talking about under 400 million, you know, 300 range or something like that. Now, after I put that out there, and the Gunn fans got mad at me, and then it came out with an article. They said, "Oh, we only spent 100 million on Supergirl," meaning, you know, their number's probably like 375. That's what they want to make. Now, mind you, I was told the Superman numbers for the Superman 2025. I was told after they shot the film that their number was 500 million, and that was confirmed. Like there's several articles that came out after I said that, because that was the real number. That it was like, we're not expecting a lot. Oh, we got 600 million. Let's throw a party, you know. So to answer this with Supergirl, they already have like a built-in excuse for Supergirl, and they're going to shoot this Man of Tomorrow. That film's going to get out there. There's just all indications, but I just don't know if it's going to be enough. I just like, from all we've seen of James Gunn, they announced, okay, long-time DC fans here, y'all, okay? They announced Brainiac, and like
nothing. When it should have been like major, but
Brainiac?
Nothing.
Like, y'all remember when we saw Doomsday? They shouldn't have showed him in the trailer, right? For BVS.
Oh, I hate that
they showed Doomsday, and we was like, oh, Doomsday's in this?
Yeah.
With Brainiac, it was just like a very mute, just okay. No, that's not DC to me, man. That's not DC. That should have broke the internet. Brainiac is in Man of Tomorrow, and it's almost as if no one cares.
Right. No, that's my whole point. That's why I'm like, I don't know, man. That's why I'm like, but if there's already an excuse for the Supergirl, then I guess that is what it is. But I guess in my mind, I'm thinking if Paramount, is the one in charge by then, and now it's up to them to decide this. I guess that's what I'm thinking. I can see like where they're at now. Maybe that's the status quo.
Right. That's true. Yeah, that's a fair point.
You know what I'm saying? But once Paramount takes over, and it's like we're not accepting this. We're not cool with these kinds of numbers, right? Like whatever whatever excuse that they try to comfort themselves with now at Warner Brothers,
Right. No, that's fair because
will that fly with Paramount?
When these regimes changes, like sources changes, right? So the information I was getting before DeLuca and Abney was hired is different from the information I got after DeLuca and Abney was hired, right? So, and then Gunn came in, that changes information, and then so when this next regime, when Paramount comes in, realistically, they're trying to get this deal passed. Paramount buying Warner Brothers by fall,
right? So
this will be after Supergirl comes out. Now, they will be starting to think, okay, 2027, we got to promote Batman Part 2 and Man of Tomorrow, right? That's going to be when they come into the building, they may not even promote as hard. They just want to say, let's see what you do. You see what I'm saying? So so it's like they're going to be coming in a little bit like, they're definitely going to be coming in after Supergirl does whatever it does. And I don't think they're going to make like a rush reaction because Man of Tomorrow is going to already be in the can then, ready to release next year. So it's the time. It's the timing of it. I think that's going to benefit Man of Tomorrow just getting out because, you got to roll with your film schedule, if you're just coming into the building for Warner Brothers. So that's the only reason why I say,
okay.
They're gonna have the Gun's gonna have a little chance because Supergirl's gonna just do whatever. Yeah. It's kind of just like this overlapping period where it's like, okay, they're just moving in, as Mike always say, they're moving their furniture in, with these mergers.
Right.
And by the time they move in there, then it's like, okay, we need to sell these films that's already shot.
Right.
So let's make the best of Matt Reeves' Batman, Man of Tomorrow. Let's see what it does. But the pressure's on Man of Tomorrow. Again, they don't want repeat business. If it comes out to $600 million again, Gunn is done.
Right.
If it gets closer to $800 million, then he may buy himself another film. But I think Paramount's going to change the course no matter what. I think they're going to, no matter what.
No, for sure. And just to answer the question here, we talked about this a bit. We both believe, again, this is I guess you could say Zack Snyder and party, those that are acquainted, knowing what's coming. So I believe when you're seeing Joe Manganiello tease his Deathstroke, it's him, again, just reminding Paramount and said Cheryl, everybody that's involved in making decisions here, that this is still what people want. People are still interested in this.
What was the quote that Joe Manganiello put in his post? Come on.
Right.
That's why I keep saying, you Snyder fans out there, if y'all are around during the release of Snyder Cut days, y'all know what's going on right now. Manganiello said, you better not be wasting my time.
You better not be wasting my time.
Come on now.
Dude, come on. And look, when we say Deathstroke post, hold on, let me just show this right quick. Because he went hard. It's not like it wasn't just one post. He did a few. So just to show you.
And that's probably the most engagement he gets is when it's his DC character.
So he did a few there. And actually,
he posted the whole scene. He posted the nightmare.
How many more?
Oh, bro.
Come on.
This is something. Okay, this man is an actor. Okay. So if I'm pumping a role continuously, I'm campaigning. That's what this is on social media. He's saying he had to talk with Zack. And Zack's like, oh, yeah, pump. Gal Gadot just did this a month ago. Yeah, go and pump Wonder Woman some more.
Dude.
This is what he's doing.
Exactly.
So, in conjunction with what Zack's doing.
In conjunction with what Zack's doing. That's the point. You know,
he has no other reason to do that. He has no other reason. Oh, let me just think back to my Deathstroke role. This man is a working actor in Hollywood.
Yeah, he got gigs.
I'm gonna jump back to this. Why? People got to ask themselves why.
Exactly.
Again, long-term Snyder fans, y'all know what's going down. This is the most we've ever gotten before an announcement. We went off of less in 2019. Who's going off of less in 2021 and 2022?
Right.
Like, this is the most Zack has ever been active, and the people connected to him. Larry Fong, one of his cinematographers, he's been very active. So it just, bro, something's happening behind the scenes. We know it. We know it.
No, for sure. For sure. It's not there's no doubt in my mind. Low-key, I think I tweaked. I think I thought it was his page, but I think that was like a bunch of people just posting his stuff.
That's wild. But he has posted the scene, and he has that picture that a lot of people were showing, like an artist rendition of his Deathstroke. Right. And I know that's doing numbers like crazy on Instagram.
Carlos says, can there be a world where Paramount makes a Crisis film to the Snyderverse? I mean, I don't see why not. You know,
Paramount? I mean, I don't think they have to, but
they don't have to. That's for sure.
Like what Zack said today on that interview, he's like, my stuff is separate. He's like, yeah, I respect James Gunn. You know, I know some people didn't like him saying respect to James Gunn, but he's like, my stuff is so different. Like, it won't interfere with nothing. I thought that was the biggest key that Zack said today on that interview. If you haven't watched it yet,
right?
With Josh Horowitz. That's the guy when Henry Cavill said, I'm back as Superman. He went to that guy to interview him. But Zack said, my stuff is so different. That's how Zack has always been on that. So you Gunn fans, you don't got to be afraid of Zack Snyder. Like, he's saying my stuff is Elseworlds. He's telling you this.
Right.
He's not, so restore the Snyderverse doesn't mean you got to cancel Gunn. I mean, okay, if you don't like him, that's cool. He's a goofy dude.
Right.
So I get it, but you don't need Gunn to fail for Zack to do more DC. That's my only point.
Yeah.
That's my only 100%. Point with that. Now, if Gunn fails by himself, then okay, that's a whole nother joke, you know. So, yeah.
Let's see. Beth also spoke about it on the red carpet. That's also true. Everyone knows what's going on except.
I'm just I don't again the Saudi connection should be the easiest thing for everyone to see.
Actually, thank you for bringing this up, Raven. They mentioned this a few comments ago about Air's connection to Paramount.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing. If you want the Air cut, Paramount's again another reason why you want Paramount. I think I find it that they would actually release the Air cut. I think they would do it because they have Paramount Plus. If they're trying to do something similar to HBO Max, like, okay, maybe we don't want to do a theater release for, although I would prefer to see it in theaters personally, but there's at least that, you know.
So I heard this while the bidding was happening a couple months ago with Paramount, trying to get Warner Brothers and everything that went on with that, is that Paramount's idea of their app, Paramount Plus, is that they want to integrate HBO Max, different from what Netflix. Netflix was saying, HBO, we will own you, but you'll stay over there.
Right.
You HBO, we may think of some bundling idea. Paramount, what I heard is that they want to fully integrate into a super app is the term that was used. They want a HBO Paramount super app. And when you do that, you want content.
Yeah.
It's all about IPs.
Yeah.
I think Paramount could be in a very interesting situation when they come into the building. Let's say it's the beginning of 2027.
Okay.
And if you want to phase from Gunn, whatever you want to do, you just need content. So I think you get the Air cut, just put it on streaming, the Schumacher cut, put ZSJL in IMAX or theaters, like a short run or whatever. It's about content until you figure out what you want to do for DC, right? Because I think DC's going to be kind of in a little limbo period when Paramount comes in there, because I don't think Gunn. And I haven't said this before yet. I'll say this on the Chop Shop. I don't think Gunn has an 8-year, 10-year plan. I don't think he does.
Right.
I think when he was making Superman, it was intended to be like a 10-year buildup. And then my story I put out there in 2022, 23 was Zaslav made him put all the Justice Gang and everything into his Superman film.
Right.
Because it's a showcase of DC.
Right.
Meaning you're not gonna have 8 to 10 years. You just need to show what you need to show.
Right.
And we can sell this.
That's right.
So James Gunn has served his purpose. If this Paramount deal goes through, James Gunn was the bridge guy. And so it's about time to figure out what's the next, version of this DC. If Man of Tomorrow does great, Gunn will get one more film to finish off his Superman saga, and that'll be it. If Man of Tomorrow bombs, then it's over. Then it's over right there.
Yeah, no, for sure. And look, again, I like you said, I'm sure there's people here that they love what Gunn is doing.
There's some.
That's fine. That's fine. Like, honestly, it is
glazing hard. No. It's
fine,
watchable
man.
to me. Again, I'm probably the nicest guy about this, but it's watchable. But
the point that I want to make here is that, like you said, and it's something you said earlier, it's just when Zack says his thing is different, it's not just to say like it's separate. It's that by definition, his way of storytelling is different. The things he sees, the things he's trying to portray, they're just different. And you can't just take something else and mix it into that world, because it's a whole different world. And again, aesthetically, like just the details he's putting into the film, everything matters. Everything's something. It's not. No director does this. And look, Zack's a nice guy. You can watch the interview. He gives his flowers to Gunn. He's gonna do that. He's a nice guy. But sorry, like nothing that Gunn has done is remotely close to what Zack has done. And that's actually a lot of directors, if I'm being honest. But when it comes to DC, it doesn't even come close. And it's just Zack's perspective of DC is just different. I will offer you guys this too. In my opinion, and I've said this before, is that what separates, and not even what Zack just did, even Nolan. We have to always throw Nolan here because he's the blueprint, really, when it comes to what followed, right? It's this, how much can you ground these characters to a real world? That's the blueprint. Nolan did that like flawlessly with Batman, right? Now, Zack's challenge was, how can I do that with a more fictional character? And what he decides to do is, let me take the aspects of this character that ring true to our reality, and what do I mean by that? A lot of you guys don't like to admit it, but I hate to burst your bubble. And Zack said it best, and I might just play that part of the clip so you guys can finally bite that bullet. But the reality is there are connective tissues between the way Superman's story is told and what it's actually mirroring, for that matter. Certain elements of his story. I'm not going to say his entire story. Right? A lot of it's fictional. But certain elements of his story are very much that of the savior. All right. And he dives deep into that because that's really the only aspect of Superman that is true to the human experience, is my whole point. Like, that's methodically chosen, is my whole point. He methodically chooses that, right? Like, this is the one thing about Superman in his canon, in his storyline, and not the only thing. Let me just clarify. It's not the only thing, but it's a major part to what connects him to like the real world, like what we can identify. You know, it's that savior complex that he has, right? Which is why that's part of the dialogue and the narrative in BVS. You know, this God figure, this savior figure. Like, maybe he's not that. Maybe he's just this guy trying to do the right thing. Whatever, you know, all that conversation. You know, but not even that. Even Man of Steel, right? Where she's like, he'll be a freak, he'll be an outcast. And he's like, no, he'll be a god. You know what I'm saying? Like, the elements are set. You know, the seeds are sown, whatever, throughout the dialogue. And there are other aspects too, right? It's his character of being raised by his, you know, mom, pa, Kent, whatever, the lessons he learns from his father, Jonathan, his relationship with his mother, Martha, whatever, all that stuff. But that part in itself, and I just feel it's important because a lot of people don't like to admit it, you know, and I get it. Maybe you're not down with Christ. I don't know. Maybe you don't like the idea of religion or whatever, all that in your stuff. But I'm just gonna play with. Let me stop talking. I'm gonna let Zach do the talking right quick, and I'll let him tell you guys how it is. You know what I'm saying? How it is. Let's see.
We also knew that because it was a birth and resurrection story, obviously we're not lowering him off the cross by accident. You know, this is not like the Jesus metaphors are not like, oh, that they really went vaguely with that. That was like, really, I don't know if, yeah, you know, it's a real reach, you know, to kind of say that's what's happening. I just felt like that was an important, mythological touchstone that if you were avoiding that, you were sort of avoiding the why a little bit of Superman. You were kind of like, you were kowtowing to some sort of like, I don't know what, public pressure or like non-commercialization. I don't know what, but you're pussy now, really. Let's be honest.
you said, we're going to go. Yeah.
100. But by the way, it's the why I thought it was cool. Like why I thought it was interesting. Because like it's.
All right. I'll leave that there.
Man, like that's Superman. Like just that concept right there.
Right.
I would have taken just 1 second of that in James Gunn's Superman. You know, just that mythological type of like Gunn. And again, Gunn makes the films how he wants to make it, and he wants to relate. He wants you to relate so hardcore. We want DCs that are they're gods, DC characters,
right?
And that's literally what Zack was doing,
right,
with Superman.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm using that. There's like many references of that kind of nature, right? Like the philosophical part that he sees, the mythological parts of how he views DC. This is what separates him from. That's what separates what he did with DC characters to what Gunn did with DC characters, you know, and frankly, what any other creative house is doing with any of their comic book characters. You know what I mean? That's what makes it's special, you know, and unique and different. And not to say again, and it's not like he's doing anything new, but it's just that he's not afraid to tap into that which it seems that everybody else is trying to shy away from, you know. And again, I just use that clip as the one aspect of that, right? The whole Christ part aspect. But the reality is it's the other things too. It's the, you know, he's not afraid to deconstruct these characters in the same way Frank Miller would. You know, where most people are afraid to, or as he points out again in that same interview, which I would recommend you guys check it out if you haven't seen it. And that's that. What do you want? A movie that's made by committee, that all these focus parties and, you know, people that tell you what they should have not put in the movie, whatever that like, or would you rather just have the raw thing, what the vision is of the director, you know? And that's what he brings to the table. You know what I mean? He's and look, he's he said in other interviews, he's compromised here and there. Obviously, you have to, right? He in the same interview he said he had to compromise for the IMAX experience when it came to Watchmen. So, but again, it's that's what Zack brings to the table. That's what I want to point out with that. We're talking about the kind of movie, the kind of storytelling he brings. It's these attention to details that matter to him, that as a viewer matter to me, and that I could appreciate. That, like you said, I wish I would have seen a hint of that kind of thing in the James Gunn Superman, but you don't, and that was I don't know if it was you. No, yeah, in our discussion, that was one of my problems with it. It's like, look, this is who Superman's supposed to be. Period. Like, I'm not saying that's exactly who he is. I'm just saying that's who he embodies, whether you like it or not. It's just factor of the fabric of the character. So when you have him acting more petty and human like us, saying, rather than someone with a higher standard, someone with a higher calling, someone with a higher purpose, then you're missing the truth about Superman. You're missing a truth about Superman, I would say. Let's see. Peter says Daniel Craig and Henry was going to be in Man of Tomorrow. That would have been the old 007 to the potential new 007 in one movie. Gunn fucked that up. So Zack sunk his Superman with his IG. I mean, hey, that could be that's a bad point. Like, again, there was a lot of hype around Zack's IG rather than a lot of this Man of Tomorrow talk. Like, that's just facts.
That's crazy.
James Gunn's DC is for children. Zack Snyder's DC is for grown-ups. That's a big argument between studios. Possibly so, for sure. But I also feel like I think that's true when you're talking maybe something like Watchmen. That's for sure a grown-up. Like, you better think twice about what child you're showing that to or what age they're at. When it comes to like Man of Steel, BVS, and Zack Snyder's Justice League, yeah, the story is it's for the grown-up mind, so to speak, but it's not like it's so crazy that a child can't understand. There's many movies as a child I was shown that were for sure probably, to today's day and age wouldn't be considered like a child's film, but I went and saw it. Like, my parents allowed me to see it, and I was fine. I understood, certain things, what I'm saying? Like, even the most craziest, like Terminator 2, that's probably this movie a kid shouldn't watch, but I watched it, what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I was fine, what I'm saying?
I was scarred for life.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It was like, oh my gosh, robot. You know what I'm saying? No, like, it was cool, what I'm saying? It was cool. And then so visually it was cool. And then looking back on it as an adult, when you go watch it back, the rerun of it, you actually appreciate it even more. Because there's like a lot of cuts, and I don't know if I ever got into a discussion with you, but man, there's a lot of cuts in that Terminator film, that first one too, that is like full circle, like, holy cow, it's like kind of like they were kind of prophesying, where artificial intelligence was going to start.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever got into that discussion with you, but yeah, if you go watch that original Terminator.
I'm about to rewatch that just to
dude. They
to pick up on it.
There's that scene under the bridge, with John Connor and Sarah Connor, whatever. And she like asks him about the future, like, why did he have to come back or whatever? What happens? Like, what goes wrong? And I'm paraphrasing at this point, but it's something like along the lines like around the year 2027, or no, years 2020 to the year 2027. Artificial intelligence and cybernetics, blah, 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 start advancing so much, whatever, blah, blah, like, and it's like, and I'm watching them, like, holy cow, like, that
that's
really
crazy.
is the rise of AI.
That's like the real.
You know what I mean?
That's wild.
So, but anyways, let's, I got to kind of wrap this up. So, you know what?
No.
Cool. We both got it. But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up, brother. Bro, I appreciate you, man.
For sure.
Always a great conversation with you. Definitely let me know when we can do this again. Obviously, I'm always available for when you need me to.
For sure.
On your way.
We got a lot to talk about. If this Paramount thing, if everything goes like it's supposed to go, it's gonna be a lot to talk about.
Yeah, for sure, bro. But again, appreciate you, bro. For those who didn't, I guess, or came in late, make sure you rewatch it. There's a lot that we discuss. Appreciate you guys that did tune in. Those that were engaging with us in the comment section. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit that notification bell. Make sure to follow us on any of the platforms that you might be watching from. Again, whether you agree or disagree, it's always welcome here. Put it in the comments. Let me know. And we'll discuss it in a later video, all right? That being said, much love. Peace out, guys. God bless. One love, man. And wait. Oh, here we go. Sorry, guys. We're out of here.